Hey everybody, Chris with Night of Living Card Games here. Back again to continue my Sinister Motive campaign with random hero and random aspects. For this scenario, we're going up against a Sinister Six, and the random hero was Spider, and the random aspect was Justice. So, taking a look here, got to take a look at the setup and the reputation track here. So for setup, a little different here. Sinister Synchronization tells us to get the Sinister Six villains, Guerrilla Tactics, and the Standard Counter Set, which are in there. And then it says setup, choose X villains at random, where X is one more than the number of players. Put those villains into play, place the active counter on the villain with the lowest activation order value, and set the other villains aside. Then put the light at the end side scheme into play, trap side face up. Alright, so we've got our 6 villains here. Let's give them a shuffle and let's see what 2 we're starting out with. Alright, so we're going to start with Electro. Electro is 2 scheme, 1 attack, activation order number 2. And his force response is after Electro attacks and damages you, discard the top 7 cards of your deck, and then move the active counter to the next villain in the activation order. Second villain is Scorpion. So Scorpion is activation order 5. Is 0 scheme, 3 attack, and 10 hit points. Forgot, Electro only has 8 hit points. And his force response is after Scorpion attacks and damages you, stun a character you control, and then move the active counter to the next villain in the activation order. So we start with the activation order, which the active villain counter, which I'm using my buy the same token Sinister Six token for that, with the lowest activation order, which is Electro. So that's kind of the theme for all the villains, is they've got an activation order and they've got a force response if they attack and damage you. Now, as always in this game, it gets a little confusing, but you is the hero, or there are ways you could be damaged in alter ego, but your identity, not an ally. And then after they activate, they move the counter to the next one in the line, and they keep going. All right, so it also said to put the light at the end side scheme into play, trap side up. So this comes in with 10 threat. It says permanent, hinder 10 per player. Since I'm doing solo, it means it's got 20 threat on it. It says players cannot win unless they escape. And then force response, when the last threat is removed from this scheme, resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme, then flip this card. The second side is us trying to get out. So kind of like the collector scenario, this one is to win, we've got to deal with threat. So what is the ambush ability? Well, if we flip over Sinister Synchronization to 1B, it is an 8 threat per player's main scheme. It starts with 2 and goes up 1 per player per round. So ambush. Choose a set-aside villain at random and put that villain into play and place the active counter on it. In expert mode, place 2 threat on light at the end. And then it has a force interrupt. When a villain would activate, if no villain is in play, resolve the card's ambush ability and then continue the activation. So basically, if you defeat these villains, you can't just get away without having anything there. And because we're going to be swapping villains in and out, I'm putting them down here and not using the dial on them. All right, so we start with 2 threat on here, and we have our normal public outcry. Comes in with 2 notoriety counters and has an acceleration icon. Taking a look at the reputation track, we are at a reputation of 12. So first was the shield tech upgrade, which I've got here, and I'm going to use my little spider tracer token for that. Also, I get to take an additional mulligan. And then I get to choose an aspect card from their collection and add the maximum numbers of copies by title to it. Previously, I had chosen Dropkick, so I'm going to do that. I will shuffle that in. And that is it. So on the villain side, Osborne Tech has got to be added here, which I just realized I did forget to add that, so let me go get that. All right, sorry about that, folks. So arm cannon was the Osborne Tech upgrade. So I got to do that. Next, I have to add 1 per player threat to the main scheme. And then, in player order, each player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and put that minion in play engaged with the player. So I think there's only 1 minion in this scenario is Life-Size Decoy, which is a 0 scheme, 0 attack, 5 hit point minion. And it says the engaged player cannot thwart side schemes. So, right. And the last thing I need to do is I need to randomly choose one of the campaign side schemes and add that to the deck as well. So also in campaign mode, we still do get to have the Venom ally in starting in play, which also means that Venom treachery, the snitches get stitches, treachery is in the encounter deck as well. So real quick while I'm shuffling up here, taking a look at Spider, aka Peni Parker, is an interesting design. It's got 2 different hero cards. So you've got Peni Parker in alter ego mode, is a 4 recovery, 4 hand size hero with 14 hit points. And then it has a setup ability, says put the spider suit into play, inactive side face up. And then as an alter ego action, I can exhaust the spider suit to draw 2 cards. So basically the theme here is Peni Parker gets inside her spider suit to fight crime, but when you're in alter ego mode, you get out of it. So it is inactive and just kind of sitting there. And then when you flip one over, you flip both over. So the spider suit in hero form is a 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense hero with a hand size of 3. And then it has a sync ratio ability that says exhaust an interface upgrade you control, generate that upgrade's resource. So Spider Suit has 5 different interfaces that can come out during the game, and you can exhaust them for benefits. Most of them are like give you a buff to a stat. One is +2 attack, +2 thwarting, +2 defense. One readies the suit, and the pilot interface here that you're going to start with is just a wild resource. But basically, that's what makes up for that really small hand size is you've got resource generation just from doing your thing. All right. So that is shuffled up. All right, let's get ourselves started here. So hand size of 4. I got a web trap, host spider, multitasking, and making an entrance. Okay, well, like web trap, that's my attack, and I can stun an enemy. Host spider is the upgrade I always want to start out with first, because that is exhaust the spider to ready your suit. I definitely don't need making an entrance and multitasking, so I'll get rid of them. I'm going to keep web trap, just for the heck of it. All right, all systems go. Ooh, and all systems go. All right. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my alter ego action to exhaust my suit to draw 2 cards, which gives me my other web trap and ejection protocol. I got all my stuff early, so that's not spectacular. Then I'm going to flip myself up to hero mode. All right, so let us start by getting out my host spider. I'm going to generate a wild resource from that, spend 1 web trap and 1 all system go to get out my host spider. So host spider is a 3-cost upgrade with the interface and spider traits, This is hero action, exhaust host spider to ready spider suit. All right, I am going to do that to ready. And then I'm going to spend Ejection Protocol to play All Systems Go. All Systems Go is a 1-cost event, and it says hero action, choose. Ready each interface upgrade you control, or search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to your hand, and then shuffle. I'm going to choose to ready my upgrades. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Spider and Host Spider to pay for Web Trap. So Web Trap is a 2-cost event. It says hero action, attack. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using a resource generated by the Spider Suit's Sync Ratio ability, which is exhausting these generated resource, stun that enemy. So I'm going to do 5 damage to Electro and stun him. Actually, I take that back. I am not going to do that, or am I? No, I am going to do that. I'm sorry. So then next I'm going to do Venom is going to attack for 3 on the life-size decoy, and I will attack for 2 on the life-size decoy, taking it out, which does take off one of the notoriety counters there. All right, and that is everything. So we are going to ready ourselves up. Draw ourselves up to 3 cards, which gives me Quake, Chance Encounter, and Spider-Man Hobie Brown. All right, so start of the villain phase, we're going to get 2 on the main because of this. So we're at 5 of 8. Electro would go to attack, but he is stunned. And that means his force response doesn't go off, and I don't move the villain counter. And now we get 2 encounter cards because of Venom. All right, so first encounter card is another life-size decoy. And then we also get Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. Oh, that has to go there. The only upgrade or support I have out is my Host Spider. Wow, that was really rude. That is going to be problematic for me. All right, well, we deal with it as we can. So first thing, Venom's going to attack for 3. Spider Suit's going to attack for 2 to get rid of life-size decoy. On the bright side, that does mean that Public Outcry is gone. And the Risk Navigator means I get to draw a card, which is multitasking. I am then going to spend 3 to get Hobie Brown into play. Hobie Brown is a 3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3 hit points with the Web Warrior trait. Play only if you control a Web Warrior card, which the Spider Suit is a Web Warrior card. And it has an interrupt when Spider-Man leaves play. Discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Deal damage to a villain equal to the number of boost icons discarded this way. Right, I'm going to have Hobie thwart for 2 off the main, and he takes 2 consequential from thwarting. Get that back down to 3. And that's about all I can do. So let's ready ourselves up. Cards, we got a drop kick, and an Overwatch. All right, so we're only getting 1 on the main. Electro comes to attack. Hobie's going to step in the way. So he's attacking for 1, 2. That is enough to defeat Hobie, but the force response after he attacks and damages you, he did not. So I do not have to discard the top 7 cards. But we got to do the interrupt first. So top 3 cards, 1, 2, and 3. So only 3 damage. So I think, yeah, we'll do it to Electro, and that defeats Hobie Brown. And I don't have to discard 7 cards like I said, but the active villain counter does go to Scorpion now. And now we do get the 2 encounter cards. First being Inherited Burden, which is my obligation. It says, give to the Peni Parker player, you may flip the alter ego form. Choose to either exhaust Peni Parker to remove inherited burden from the game, or choose and discard one interface upgrade you control to discard this obligation. There is no interface upgrade I can control, so I believe I have to do the other one because it's something that I can do. So I'm going to flip to Alter Ego, and I'm going to exhaust Peni Parker to remove this from the game. Right? But what I'm going to do before resolving this, I am going to use Venom's ability, which is response after you reveal an encounter card. Deal 1 damage to Venom, taking him up to 3. Deal damage to an enemy equal to the number of icons in that card's boost area. That is 2. So that is enough to defeat Electro. And all the villains also have a when defeated effect. When defeated, remove 4 threat from a side scheme. 7 threat if no other villain is in play, and then set this villain aside. So we get to remove 4 from light at the end. Right? And now our second encounter card is From Every Direction. When revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme for each enemy in play. So now, thankfully, there's only 1. All right, so now it is my turn. Well, shoot. All right, so I am going to use my maintenance alter ego action to exhaust the suit to draw 2 cards, which is Rapid Deployment and a Web Fluid Compressor. Neither of which is what I wanted. I'm going to flip up the hero form. The reason being, I wanted to drop kick Scorpion so I could stun him, but because I had to exhaust that, I don't have 3 physical resources to get that extra kicker. And Web Fluid Compressor is an energy, and Rapid Deployment is a mental. So, not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 to get my Web Fluid Compressor out. That is a 2-cost upgrade. And it says, when Spider Suit makes a basic attack, exhaust Web Fluid Compressor, it gets +2 for that attack. And then I'm going to use Dropkick, and I'm going to use my Sync Ratio ability to generate a energy resource to pay for Rapid Deployment. Rapid Deployment is a 2-cost event. Hero Action Thwart. Remove 3 threat from a scheme, and then if you paid for this card using a resource generated by Spider Suit's Sync Ratio ability, which I did, remove 3 threat from a scheme. So I can choose to remove 3 threat from 2 different schemes or 6 threat from 1 scheme. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 threat off of this one and 3 threat off of this one. Getting me down to 13 there. And then I guess Venom is just going to do 3 damage onto Scorpion. And now we'll ready myself up. For Justice, Web of Life and Destiny, and another For Justice. Alright, so we're going to get 1 on the main. He is coming to attack. Debating if I just want to take it or not. What am I going to do this turn? Not a whole lot. So the option is I could have Venom jump in front of it if I don't want to deal with another encounter card. If he attacks me and damages me, I just have to stun a character I control. So I can stun Venom, and then I can try to use his ability on the 2 encounter cards that come up. Decisions. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to take it. I got 14 hit points. So he's attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6. Ouch. Figures. Always is a 3 boost card whenever I say, yeah, I'll just take it. All right, so I'm down to 8, and I'm going to choose to stun Venom instead. And now we get 2 encounter cards First being side scheme. It says teamwork makes the dream work. Each enemy gets +1 scheme and +1 attack, and it comes in with 5 threat. And then I am going to use Venom's ability to ping 2 damage onto Scorpion. And then our second card is Heighten Morale. Attach the villain with the highest activation order if you cannot resolve ambush, so it always finds a target. And he gets +X attack, where X is equal to the number of villains in play. So right now, Scorpion gets a +1 attack. All right. So I am going to get Weapon Life of Destiny for free because it's normally a 3-cost support, but it says ignore the card's resource cost if your identity has a Web Warrior trait, which I do. And then response after a Web Warrior ally leaves play, choose a player. That player draws 1 card. All right, so I am going to spend 1 off of sync ratio ability on my pilot and a 4 justice to play 4 justice, which is remove 3 threat from scheme, 4 threat instead if you paid for this card using a mental resource. Since that was wild, I get to do that. So let's try to get this out of here. You know what? We're just going to have Venom thwart and get rid of this, which draws me a card, which is Speed Metal Alloy, which is another of my interfaces, and that does defeat Venom. And this takes care of that. All right. So I think what I'm going to do here is I am going to generate a resource with my Web Fluid Compressor to put in my Speed Metal Alloy, which is a 1-cost upgrade, and Hero Interrupt. When Spider Suit defends against an attack, exhaust Speed Metal Alloy. It gets +2 defense for that defense. Right? I am now going to thwart for 2 off the main, and then I'm going to flip down because Scorpion's a 0 scheme, so I feel safe in doing that. And then I'm going to ready myself up and get up to a hand size of 4. So Ghost Spider, Strength, Rapid Deployment, and Power of Justice. All right, villain phase. We get 1 on the main. He goes to scheme for 0 +3, naturally. So we're up to 5, and we get 1 encounter card, which is Taunting Present. Attach the villain with the most hit points if you cannot resolve ambush, and attach to it. And it says threat cannot be removed from light at the end. So definitely have to see about dealing with Scorpion here this turn. All right, I don't want to exhaust to... get more cards because I need to attack him and get rid of it. But what I can do is I can exhaust Peni Parker to recover for 4 to get me back up to 12. So I don't think I'm going to need the resource this turn. Then we're going to flip up to hero mode. I'm going to attack using Web Fluid Compressor to give myself a +2 attack. So that is hitting for 4. So that takes him up to 9 out of 10. I'm going to spend Power of Justice and Strength to get Ghost Spider out. Ghost Spider is a 3-cost ally with 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Play only if you control a Web Warrior card. And then Interrupt. When Ghost Spider leaves play, search your deck for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. And I am going to have her come and attack and defeat Scorpion. So, we no longer have a villain in play. Comes here. These go away. And because I defeated him, I get to remove 4 threat from a side scheme, but 7 because it was the only villain in play. So that takes this down to 6. And then I am going to... No, I thought I was going to have enough for it. I thought I was going to have enough for rapid deployment, but I need one more resource. Okay. So I will not be doing that this turn. But I am going to hold on to it, my thwart card, just because that's getting kind of high. All right, so we are going to ready ourselves up. Draw 2 more to get myself up to 3. Aunt May and Uncle Ben. And multitasking. All right, so first things first, we get 1 on the main to go up to 6 out of 8. Now, the villain would activate, but there is no villain here, so the force interrupt happens. We shuffle up all the villains and put them into play. Let's see who we're going to get. We are going to get Electro again. So he is coming in. He's attacking for 1. I am going to defend with speed metal alloy, so I'm defending for 4. So he's coming in for 1, just 2. So I defend that, no problem. So I don't have to trigger his event, and there's no other villain for that to move to. We get 1 encounter card, which is of course Shadow of the Past. Hooray! All right, so my nemesis minion is Morbius. Morbius is a 2-scheme, 2-attack, 6-hit point creature with a force response after the engaged hero generates any number of resources, so all these little sync ratio abilities, deal an equal amount of damage to that hero. All right, and then we've got Giant Monster Attack is the side scheme. It is a 4-threat side scheme with the crisis icon, so I can't thwart the main scheme while this is out. And it says, as an additional cost to thwart this scheme, you must spend a lightning resource. And then we get 3 cards shuffled into the deck. This is somewhat problematic. Let's see here. So first, minion goes into play, then side scheme goes into play. So all right, now it is my turn. All right, so I am going to thwart for 1 a Gwen. Then I am going to spend 1, 2 for rapid deployment. Now I generated 2 resources. So, unfortunately, I do have to take 2 damage, taking me down to 10. So I'm going to do rapid deployment. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. I'm removing 3 threat from this scheme, which draws me a card from Risk Navigator, which is a genius. Right? And because I paid for this using a resource generated by my sync ratio ability, I can remove 3 threat from a different scheme. I'm going to choose remove 3 threat from the main. I am now going to spend multitasking to get Aunt May and Uncle Ben out. So Aunt May and Uncle Ben is a 1-cost support persona. Action: exhaust Aunt May and Uncle Ben and discard the top 2 cards of your deck, or top 3 cards instead if you are in alter ego form, and then add each spider card discarded this way to your hand. So we're going to try that. I need some cards. So I got a Spider-Man Peter Parker and a Spider Command. Okay, well, I guess I might as well put my Spider Command into play. So I will overpay for that. Spider Command is a 1-cost location support. Hero action: exhaust Spider Command and an interface upgrade. Draw 1 card. Or, hero action: exhaust Spider Command and choose and discard 1 card from your hand to ready an interface upgrade. All right, not going to do me a lot of good right now, but we'll get there. We at least have the threat under control. And we'll see how things go here. So, drawing 3 cards, I get a dropkick, an under surveillance, and a lady spider. Okay. Villain phase, we're getting 1 on the main. Electro comes to attack. Ghost Spider is going to defend for me. So he's attacking for 1, 2, 3. That is enough to defeat Ghost Spider. So Ghost Spider has an interrupt. When Ghost Spider leaves play, search your deck for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So identity-specific event. Hopefully I still have one in play. I have 1. All systems go. Ready each interface upgrade you control, or search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to your hand. Both of those, really good. All right, so that was Electro. And because he didn't damage me, I don't have to discard 7 cards. Morbius comes and attacks me for 2. I'm just going to take it, taking me down to 8. And now we get an encounter card, which is Assault. The villain attacks you. All right, well, I am going to exhaust and defend with my Spieled Metal Alloy. So I'm defending for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I take no damage. So I don't have to discard cards, and there's nobody to move it to. All right. Now, let's see what I want to do. So all system go seems to be the good choice. Oh, I forgot to... Did I draw a card? No, I did not draw a card from Weapon, Life, and Destiny when Ghost Spider came up, since it's the same window, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so I get a Psychic Link, which is my thwarting upgrade interface. So that's nice. Now the question is... do I go fetch my Host Spider so I can ready myself? Or do I try to do something to deal with these villains? And I think I'm just going to have to... I think the smarter move here is going to be to use all system go to go search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to your hand. That is going to be that Host Spider that was discarded really early in the game. And then I am going to spend 3 cards to get it into play. Let's make some room here for me. All right. So I can ready myself now. I am going to then attack with Web Fluid Compressor. Oh, shoot. I forgot. I just took a bunch of damage from Morbius, didn't I? So that was a defense. That was that. I think I only took 1. I don't know. If I mess it up, sorry about that. I think I just took that for that one. So 1. So I'm attacking for 4 on the Morbius. And then as much as I would prefer... Well, let me do Aunt May, Uncle Ben first. Let's see if I can get a card. 1, 2, neither of which are spider cards. All right. Well, as much as I would love to get my sync ratio out, I've got to get Morbius off the board. So I'm going to exhaust Spider Command. I am going to discard 1 card from my hand, which unfortunately is Psychic Link, to ready an interface upgrade, which is going to be Host Spider, which then I exhaust to ready my hero, which I then use to punch for 2 and take out Morbius. All right. That's about all I can do. We're going to ready everything up. Draw back up to 3. 1, 2, 3. Spider-Man, Skilled Investigator, and Venom. All right, we're getting 1 on the main. Electro is coming to attack. I am going to... yeah, I'm going to defend. So he's attacking for 1. Just 1. Take nothing. And then our encounter card is Partnership of Pain. When revealed, the villain with the highest activation order attacks you with plus X attack, where X is equal to the total attack of all other villains in play. So there aren't any others, but he is going to get to attack me for 1, 2. So I take 2 damage. Nothing I can do about that. He damages me. I have to discard the top 7 cards of my deck. There's only 3. But I deck out, which means I get another encounter card. Well, that was kind of unfortunate. On the bright side, I get... my deck has been reset, so I get to... my interfaces back in there, my attack events, my all system go. So I'm going to be back online if I can just get through this and stabilize things again. So encounter card is Surprise! When revealed, resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme. If no villain was put into play this way, because you had all the villains out, put 3 threat on light at the end of the tunnel. But I do have one, so we're getting another villain, and then we put the active counter on them. All right, we are getting Dr. Octopus. Doc Ock is a 2-scheme, 2-attack villain with 8 hit points. Activation order is 1, and his force response is after he attacks and damages you, place 1 threat on each scheme. All right. All right, so let us use Aunt-Man Uncle Ben to look for spider cards. Ooh, I got all systems go. That is very nice. I like that a lot. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch Skilled Investigator. Or do I want to do that? Hang on a second. No. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to get Spider-Man, Pavitar, Prabhakar out. 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 hit points. Web Warrior, after Spider-Man enters play, remove 1 threat from a scheme for each Web Warrior card you control, including this one. So I've got Spider-Man, Web and Life and Destiny is a Web Warrior card, and Spider is a Web Warrior card. So I get to remove 3 threat. I'm going to do it off the main. I'm going to keep that down. All right, perfect. Next, I'm going to spend Skilled Investigator to play All Systems Go. All Systems Go, 1-cost event. I can either choose to ready each interface upgrade I control or go search for an interface upgrade. I have 1 left in there, but I want to ready everything up. The reason I want to do that is we are going to spend all those resources to get Venom into play. So Venom is a 4-cost ally with 1 thwart, 1 attack, and 3 hit points. However, Venom gets +1 thwart and +1 attack for each sim counter on her. Hero response. After Venom enters play, place 1 sim counter on her for each resource generated by Spider Suit's sync ratio ability used to pay for her. So I used 4 resources, and because there is a 5th out here, you can overpay and get a +5 on her. But there are 4 sync ratios on there, so Venom is attacking or thwarting for 5. So we are going to have Venom attack for 5. And I think we're going to just take Doc Ock there. And then Spider-Man is going to attack and do another damage on him. Okay. That is my turn. That's not bad. So let's ready ourselves up here. Draw into 3. 1, 2, and 3. Drop kick, all system go, and Overwatch. Very nice. All right, we are getting one threat on the main. Doc Ock is coming to attack. I'm just going to have Spider-Man jump in the way. So he's attacking for 2, 3, 4. Didn't damage me, so I don't have to do the thing. And then because a Web Warrior card left play, I get to draw a card, which is Web Trap. And now we get one, oh, and this moves over to Electro, and I get one encounter card, which is Robotic Enhancement. When revealed, put the set-aside Dr. Octopus and Scorpion into play. If Dr. Octopus is already in play, confuse a character you control. Okay, we'll confuse Venom. And if Scorpion was in play, stun a character you control. All right, so I do need to go get Scorpion. Oof. So now we got 3 villains out here. And now it is my turn. All right, so Doc Ock only has 2 hit points left, so we are going to punch him for 2. That defeats Doc Ock, and that removes 4 threat from this side scheme. Venom is going to punch Electro for 2. Or for 5. We're going to then use Host Spider to ready my spider suit. And then I'm going to attack with my Web Fluid Compressor. So 4 damage onto Electro, which defeats Electro. Moves this over here. That removes 4 threat from a side scheme. And that's the only side scheme in play, so it has to be that one. All right, so we flip this over. So light at the end side scheme. This side is Chase. Starts with 5 threat. It is permanent, has hinder 10 per player, and the players cannot win unless they escape. Force interrupt. When the last threat is removed from this scheme, the players escape and win the game. So it has 15 threat on it. We are getting a hazard icon, though, so we are going to be getting 2... we are going to be getting 2 encounter cards. All right, we are now going to spend Spider and Speed Metal Alloy to play a Web Trap. Deal 5 damage to an enemy, and if you paid for it using sync ratio, which I did, stun that enemy. Okay, I am now going to spend an Overwatch to get an all systems go out and ready each interface I control. I am going to use Host Spider to ready my suit. And see, how do I want to do this? I think I am just going to thwart for 2. And that is going to be it, actually. Let's see here. Since I'm not going to use Dropkick, I'm going to use Spider Command, pitch this to ready an upgrade. I'll ready Host Spider, why not? And then we'll Host Spider myself up. And let's just take 2 off of the side scheme. And then we're going to flip ourselves down. And then when we're down, because it's a different card, I'm going to exhaust Peni Parker to heal myself back up to 9. And then we'll ready ourselves up. Draw up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop kick for justice under surveillance and a drop kick. All right, villain phase. We get 1 on the main. He goes to scheme for 0 plus 1. And we get 1 encounter card, which is Partnership of Pain. When revealed, alter ego. The villain with the lowest activation order schemes with plus X scheme, where X is equal to the total scheme of all the other villains in play. So effectively, this just turns into an advance for Scorpion. So 1, 2. Or 0 and 1. So just another 1. Okay. That's no problem. All right. I'm going to use Uncle Ben and Aunt May. So because I'm an alter ego, I get to look at the top 3 cards, and I get to keep any of the spider cards in there. Oh, we got a rapid deployment. That's handy. Actually, oh, hang on a second. I think, yeah, I forgot. I need a second encounter card, so let's see what that is. Surprise! When revealed, resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme. Okay. So a little out of order, sorry about that, but... Alright, we're going to get another villain. We get Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin is a 2-scheme, 1 attack, 9 hit point villain. With the force response, after he attacks and damages you, take 2 indirect damage. Alright, then we did that. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? Debating on if I want to... I don't think I want to heal up. That's okay. So I think we're just going to flip ourselves up. Alright, we are going to have Venom attack for 5 on Scorpion, which knocks him out. Actually, do I want to do that? No, because Scorpion's stunned. So I'm going to do... I am instead going to do the 5 damage on Hobgoblin, which does take out Venom. He is not a web warrior, so I don't get to draw that. I'm going to attack using my web fluid compressor for 4 damage, which takes out Hobgoblin, which allows me to remove 4 threat from here. I am going to use Spider and Speed Metal Alloy to play Rapid Deployment, remove 3 threat from a scheme, and because I use my sync ratio ability, remove another 3 threat, so a total of 6 threat. I'm going to remove from here. So that takes me down to 3. And then all I have to do is beat him. So I am going to spend 3 for a drop kick, deal 4 damage to an enemy. And I didn't pay with only physical, so I don't get to stun or draw a card. And then I'm going to ready myself with Host Spider and attack for 2, which takes out Scorpion, which allows me to remove 7 threat from a side scheme. And light at the end is done. We have escaped the Sinister Six. So yeah, hopefully I didn't make a ton of play mistakes here. Honestly, Spider is probably my favorite of the Web Warriors that came out. I really love the interface resource generators. The cards are really neat. Venom can get stupid powerful. There's just so much. Once you get set up, there's just so much that you can do with Spider. You're attacking for 4. You're thwarting for 4. You're defending for 4. You can ready yourself up once for free. Spider Command maybe allows you to do it again, or the all system go, you just ready everything, and you just go to town with Peni Parker in the spider suit. So, really love this one. Always enjoy playing her. So, hope you enjoyed it. I think I only have one more scenario left. It is going to be Venom Goblin, and the last hero and aspect out there is Spider-Ham Protection. So we get to see how the cartoon character does against Venom Goblin. So thank you as always for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment on what you want to see next. I've got some ideas after this. I think I'm going to do a little two-handed play and go through some of the team-up cards. But first, I got to get through that last scenario and try to take down Venom Goblin before he turns the entire city of New York into a bunch of symbiotes. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great evening.